Yes.
As it is a court, my lord, my colleague for the state, my lord, indicated that there's something they wanted to bring to the attention of the court.
Something?
Yes.
We just wanted to hand up the exhibits that were used by Mr. Ramosipil in his cross-examination, in case my colleagues should use those exhibits. The first one is exhibit LL in brackets 1. It's the affidavit of the then Captain Bentley, dated the 3rd of December 2014. Then the second one is the affidavit of Mr. A.B. Sifularo Muntwedi. That would be exhibit LL2,
Right.
dated the 3rd of November 2014. Then the last one will be exhibit LL in brackets 3. It's the image by the defense expert, Mr. Dave Petersen. It's a test bullet from a different firearm.
Yeah, okay. Where's the... Okay, thanks, yeah. Wasn't there supposed to have been another affidavit of night?
No, as far as we are concerned, those are the only exhibits that were used by Mr. Ramosipil.
Is that so? I thought Mr. Mgomezulu is the one who elicited that information when he says, when the colonel came to the house of this happening, who did he find? No, he said night, and did he have a discussion with night?
Bentley.
You remember that?
It was Bentley.
I mean Bentley.
Yes.
Sorry. So this affidavit is there?
Yes.
Okay, fine. Sorry, yeah.
It's LL1.
Yeah, fine, okay. Yes, sir. Yes.
As it is a court, my lord.
Still under oath, Colonel Mangayan.
That's correct, my lord.
As it is a court, my lord. Good morning, Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, Advocate.
Good morning, Lieutenant Colonel.
Good morning, Advocate.
Thank you, sir. I did not hear you. I did not hear you.
I said good morning.
No, thank you, sir. Now, in the course of your duties, you emphasize the aspect that when exhibits are brought to you, they should be put in seal bags, not so.
Uthe emsebenzini wakho ugcizelela ukuthi uma kulethwa ke okufanele kuzohlola kufanele kulethwe ngesikhwama esivaliwe akunjalo.
That's correct, my lord.
Yebo kunjalo.
And these seal bags are designed, with your, when they designed these seal bags, they invite certain individuals from your office to come and be part of the design of these different seal bags in which different items that are picked up the seals should be put in, not so.
Manje kuma kwakhiwa lezi zikhwama lezi kusho ukuthi babiza abathize ehhovisi lakho ukuthi beze bazofaka imbono ukuthi sifanele yakhiwe kanjani lezi zikhwama.
That's what I'm thinking.
I don't know about the design of the exhibit.
Oh, okay.
Cha ngasilutho ke mayelana nokwakhiwa kwezikhwama noma ukuplanwa ukuthi zakhiwa kanjani lezi zikhwama.
Thank you. Now, but it is imperative that those bags should have seals, not so.
Manje kusho ukuthi ke lezi zikhwama lezi zifanele zibe la nalezi lokuthiwa amasili kusho ukuthi into yokuvalisisa.
In other words, a locking mechanism. Once you put in the exhibit inside to the bag, then you lock it. Not so.
Uma ukuthi khona kufakiwe la ngaphakathi kwalesi sikhwama kusho kufanele kukhiwe.
That's correct, my lord. You seal the bag.
Athi yebo kunjalo ziyazikhiya lezi zikhwama.
Now, what is an imperative of a seal in a bag that should be sealed after an exhibit is put in the bag, has been put in the bag?
Manje iningi umsebenzi walokhu walesi sivalo kuvalwa ngaso uma sekuwukuthi ke khona exhibit efakwe ngaphakathi.
My lord, all the exhibits that we work on, once we're done working on the exhibits, we put them in sealed bags and they must be sent back to the stations where they're coming from.
Athi mase sisebenzisileke le mbukiso yonke imisetshenziswe fanele ifake ezikhwameni ezikhiwayo ukuthi sizibuyisele ngazo.
Yes, did I understand? It's protocol. Even if it's for the first time that an exhibit is collected from the scene, once it is put in a seal bag, the seal bag must, the bag must be sealed. Now the question is, why is that necessary? What are the imperatives? Why should that be done? That's the question.
ukuthi yini indaba zifanele zikhiwe lezikhwama?
Meaning the exhibits back which have been examined already, that must go back to the station. Are we talking about those ones?
A police officer goes to the scene, a member of the LCRC goes to the scene. He picks up certain exhibits in the scene.
Yes.
He puts them in a bag, and then he seals the bag. And then he transfers them over to either forensic science laboratory, either the biology unit or the ballistic unit. Now the question is, why should that bag be immediately sealed at the scene before it is transferred to you?
Buzokuthi-ke uma ukuthi iphesa lifika endaweni esigameko lifike kube khona imibukiso elithathayo lapha. Yini indaba mase lifake kulezi zikhwama sifanele zikhiwe lezi zikhwama zingakaqhutshekiseli phambili.
To preserve the integrity of the exhibits, madam.
Ukuthi-ke kungabi nakho ukuguquka okuzoba khona kule mibukiso efakwe ngaphakathi kwesikhwama.
And that's the preservation of the integrity of the exhibit that are contained in the bag. Now, in an event that a sealed bag arrives at the forensic science laboratory, let's talk about the ballistic section specifically, and you realize that no, the seal bag has been tampered with. What is the next step? What
Uma ukuthi isikhwama ke siyalethwa-ke sinombukiso ongelanga phakathi and uma usubheka ubone ukuthi cha bese sivuliwe kwenzekani.
Madam, if the exhibits are brought to the lab with it's either broken seal or open back,
Yes.
we don't receive those exhibits.
Nje ukuthi imibukiso elethwa lapha kithina kuwukuthi-ke isikhwama siyabonakala ukuthi bese sivuliwe noma kukhona okwenziwe ngalesi sikhwama asizamukeli.
Now back to our science of accuracy and precision. Thank you for that answer, by the way. Now back to our topic of science being an art of precision and accuracy and consistency. That's where we stopped yesterday. Thank you. Now, I'm going to suggest. Are you fine, Lieutenant?
That's correct. Just give him to close the sunroof of the vehicle.
Oh, okay, no, thanks. Now I'm going to suggest a scene to you. What do they call it now? A putative scene, if I may call it like that. You see, as an analyst, you receive a bullet.
Njengomuntu ohlaziyayo ke sithi nako uthola inhlamvu
Or a cartridge case.
noma uthola i-cartridge.
Within an hour or so, you'll be able to identify the marks, and then you compare it with the test bullets for the gun that you would have received, which is suspected to have been used in the incident. For an hour or so, you find all those marks, and then you're done with the comparison. That's all.
Asithi-ke uyathola-ke inhlamvu, uthola i-cartridge nenhlamvu, ebese-ke uyakwazi ukuthi uhlole wenze wonke umsebenzi wakho wenzayo, mase udubuleke lezi inhlamvu othesta ngazo usuyahlola-ke usuqeda umsebenzi wakho. Wenza kanjalo kanjalo.
You're happy with the markings. Your comparison says, no, this is positive.
Manje uma usubhekile kuwe usuyabona ukuthi cha hayi kuyabonakala ukuthi no ziyafanana lezi zinto ihambe kahle i-test yakho uyabona ukuthi cha iyamukeleka.
That does happen also. To find a comparison within an hour or so, and then you're happy with everything that we have done.
Kuyenzeka yini ukuthi nge-hour nje lodwa usukwazi ukuqeda umsebenzi wakho wabona ukuthi hayi sengithole ukuthi impela sona lesi sibhamu lesi esidubulile.
That's correct, Mal. I'll do that, but before I can seal it, I'll call another analyst to come and verify that for quality control, and then I can seal it.
Thank you.
Cha ukuthi-ke uma sengiqeda lapho ngizobiza omunye ukuthi akeze azohlola abone naye ukuthi cela umsebenzi engwenzile ubumuhle, and then bese-ke lapho-ke ngikwenzela i-quality control ukusho ukuthi kuletha isiqiniseko sokuthi konke kwenziwe ngendlela efanele.
Thank you. And let us say that the results, that there's a positive match. In other words, the scene bullet and the test bullet are matching each other. It's a positive result.
Okusho ukuthi-ke nalapho kuthola ukuthi inhlamvu lena etholeke esigamekweni nale nhlamvu le otheste ngayo zifana ncimishi.
That's correct, Mal.
Thank you.
Yebo kunjani?
Now, you say you will refer this, you request just one of your colleagues to come and override your work. What word did you use now? Oversee?
Confirm.
Confirm, yes, to come and confirm your work, and that will be all. Not so.
Oje ukuthi kubuza-ke omunye osenzayo ukuthi azoqinisekisa-ke lo msebenzi owenzile ukuthi wenze kahle kunjalo.
That's correct.
Thank you, sir.
Yebo kunjani?
Thank you. Now, in the case that we're using with you, you told to this court that although this was a positive result, that is according to you, there was a positive match. You called 4 people to come and confirm your results, not so.
Noma ke utholile ukuthi yayi le ntambi leyo uyabona ukuthi ngempela iphuma kulesi sibhamu leso ukusihlola kodwa ubize abantu abane ukuthi bazoqinisekisa imphumela yakhe kanjani.
That's correct, my lord. I got 4 people to check it.
Yes.
Yabo ngibize abantu abane ukuthi abazoqinisekisa.
Is that a normal practice?
Into yenziwa ngenjayelo leyo.
My lord, depends on the exhibits that you have and the quality of marks that we have and the case that we're working. If it's a high profile case, I'll make sure that we consent. I get more people to come and confirm the findings for quality control also.
Yeah.
Not only one person to do it.
Oh, okay.
Hayi ukuthi sisebenza ngecala elinjani kulamacala ke vele azwayo wonke umuntu mhlawumbe abonakala nakumabona kude kanjalo. Siye sizama ukuthi sithole isiqinisekiso esigcwele ukuthi sinezezela abantu abahlolayo.
So are you telling this court that ballistic analysis at the forensic science laboratory is also influenced by whether or not the case is a high-profile case or not?
Usho ukuthi ke umsebenzi wenu lona kuyenzeka yena ukuthi uncitheni icala leli nisenza ngalo icala elikhulu na?
Well, it depends on the cases. There are cases that when you look at it, you need control. You need to be clear with it. You need somebody to confirm your findings. You need to make sure that your quality has been controlled. So in such a case, we do that.
Hayi kuyahluka khona amacala obonayo ukuthi la leli cala lekuyadinga ukuthi ngithole isiqiniseko esigcwele. So kuya ngokuthi icala linjani.
I'm going to continue with my example. Now there's Mr. Mnisi. He's staying in the Bundu places, that Kwandebele, where there are no streets and the houses are far from each other. You know, it's Maneda plus Chapi. He gets killed. And at the place where he's killed, they find a cartridge and a bullet, or they find some exhibits. Now there's a Mr. X, who is a high flyer, staying in Santene, there, Houghton, or Soweto, or wherever. He's very popular. Gets shot at, and at the scene, they find some exhibits. Are you then saying to this court that the analysis that is going to be done in respect of the exhibits that were found at the scene where Mr. Mnisi was shot at, mind you, Mr. Mnisi from Kwandebele, not so, where the houses are far from each other, there's no streets there, there's nothing. So I mean, as I've said, it's Maneda plus Chapi, you see. Now, the analysis of the exhibits that we find at Mr. Mnisi's scene will not take the same form as the analysis that would be done in respect of the gentleman that comes from Gauteng. Is that what you're saying?
Asithathe mhlambe ngokuthi ke kukhona indoda esizothi uMnisi ehlalela le emaphandleni la ehlala khona endlini lapho behlala athola ukuthi izindlu nemizi igqagqene bese ngithola lapho ke uthola ukuthi udujuliwe kukhona ke nembukiso enikwazi uyithola mhlawumbe amakhathi mhlawumbe nenhlamvu lapho ebese kuba nenye insizwa ke nayo ehlala endaweni eziphezulu mhlawumbe koSoweto or Houghton kanjalo asithi ke nayo idujuliwe ke nithole imbukiso lapho usho ukuthi ke uma nenza umsebenzi wenu nihlola lezi zinto ezimbili ngendlela ehlukile.
But the examinations will be the same. It will depend on the exhibits. If Mr. Mnisi's case, the exhibit doesn't have clear marks, then I'll ask somebody, and the possibility of asking another person is out there. But in the case of somebody who's in Santene, his exhibit has got clear markings, it's clear, everything is clear on that one. There's no need to get more people to come and confirm that. I can only get one person to confirm it.
Ukuthi ke imbukiso lesithola lenaso inempawu esingakwazi usisebenzise kanjalo. Uma ukuthi konke icacile ukuthi lo dujule eHoughton imbukiso lesithola mhlawumbe into abesizithola lapho zicacile kuyabonakala kalula konke okufanele kutholakala. Cha akubi ngeke ngiyodinga umuntu ukuthi abanye abantu abaningi ukuthi bazoletha isiqiniseko sokuthi ngempela kunjalo. Kodwa uma ngithola ukuthi nalo kunomaphandleni imbukiso le ayibonakali kahle, yebo ngizodinga umuntu ngoba into esegcineni ukuthi sifane sithole iqiniso.
Thank you. Now, in this case, you called 4 people to come and verify or to override your findings. And you've just told this court today, calling 4 people gets necessitated by the fact that there are no clear markings on the bullet. So you need the 4 people to come and confirm it. Is that what you've just said?
Manje kuleli cala leli uthe udinga abantu abani ukuthi bazole iqinisekise ukuthi ngempela umphumela wakho kulowo umhlaziya yona ukuthi ke kwenze lokho ngenxa yokuthi ke lezi intambo kusihlola bezingabonakali kahle kunjalo.
That's correct, my lord. Because of the markings on your exhibit, we're not that clear. So I need confirmation.
Thank you.
Yabo ngoba nje lezi mpawu ebesila kule mbukiso lebe ebengenayo besingabonakali dinga ke abazoletha ke leso siqiniseko.
Thank you. And I'm going to put it to you, sir, very respectfully. There was something like in humble submission to God Almighty, who has gathered us from generation to generation and brought us here and gave this our own. I don't know where that comes from, but I think it had to do with the old national anthem. What I'm trying to say to you is, in all respect, I'm going to put it to you that which is the reason why the expert that is going to be called by the defense, or that has been called by the defense to come and assist in the reanalysis of this result, came to the conclusion that on account of the fact that there were insufficient markings in the bullet, in the test bullet, which should have been compared with the markings in the scene bullet, came to the conclusion that you cannot conclusively say that these two items are matching, which is the reason why his conclusion would be inconclusive. In other words, it is not, I can't say, well, it is inconclusive. He'll come and explain himself what inconclusive in his terminology means. Because I don't want to doubt his explanation with my own explanation. Remember, I am not from the forensic science laboratory, particularly from the ballistic section of it. You see, but that is the gist of what I'm trying to say to you.
Abameli bawasola bathole omunye uchwepheshe ukuthi naye ezohlola lo msebenzi okuwenza manje ke ngifuna ugcineni ukuthatha isinqumo sokuthi cha akukho ukuthola iqiniso eligcwele ukuthi ngempela lesi sibhamu lesi yiso ngempela leso ukuhlola ukuthi esidubule lenhlamvu lena le wena uyihlolile ubona sengathi sidubulile so kodwa ke isiqinisekiso ke lesi okukhulunywa ngaso ukuthi asitholakali yena umuntu akakwazi ukuthi ngempela avela athi isona ngoba asikho isiqinisekiso esigcwele isigcwele kahle ngalendlela ukuthi sigcine sesemukeleka kungenakungabazi.
My lord, my findings on the microscope, the individual markings that I found on the bullets and the test are sufficient enough to make it positive. And even on the 4 of my colleagues who also examined those, they came to the same conclusion that the bullet is positively linked to the firearm.
Thank you, sir.
Simba mina ngizitholile lapha ku yantamfu leya ngibone ukuthi ke zisinginika isiqiniseko esilingene sokuthi le yantamfu leya ngithulele lesasibhamu futhi ke nalaba abebesiza abebehlolile nabo ukuthi balethe isiqiniseko nabo babone ngalendlela engibone ngayo ukuthi ngempela isona lesasibhamu lesi esidubulile yantamfu.
Thank you, sir. Now, do you agree with me, or will I be correct to understand that the non-consistent or the inconsistency of the transfer of the mark from the tool to the exhibit that affects the quality and the quantity of the marks that are going to be found on the exhibits, on the test bullets, and or either on the scene bullets?
Can you please repeat the question? I missed the question.
Okay, thank you, sir. I am saying, would you agree with me that the inconsistent transfer of marks by the tool to the test bullet and or the scene bullet that affects the quality and the quantity of the mark on the exhibits, that is now the test bullets and the scene bullets, that will be affected when you go through the microscope? In other words, you won't find those marks because of the inconsistent transfer of the marks.
Manje ukuthi ngendlela ukuguquka kwendlela izimpawu ezishiyekayo lapha kule inhlamvu le etholakala endaweni esigameko nalezi inhlamvu lezi esidutshuliwe ekutestwa ngazo lapha kwenza ukuthi kugcine kungekho ukuthi ngempela lezi inhlamvu lezi zinempawu ezibonakala ngokucacile.
Sorry, I'm just concerned with the language. Is it not the uniformity of the marks? The inconsistency and the uniformity of the marks. For me, these are two different concepts. But if you want to continue with the inconsistency, fine.
It's
yeah, fine.
I may use the court's terminology.
No, you don't have to.
Uniformity. In other words, what I'm trying to say, the inconsistency, not the uniformity, like the non-uniformity of the transfer of the mark, in brackets, inconsistency of the transfer of the mark to the exhibits affect the quality of the marks that are going to be discerned from the exhibit, not so? That is what I'm trying to say.
Usho ukuthi ukuquka kwendlela ekuhleka khona izimpawu kule mbukiso le oyiphethe usho ukuthi ugcina wenze ukuthi iquality ke yale lendlela ezizogcina lezi impawu zibonakala ngayo iphansi kakhulu kanjani.
Before you answer, let us say, for instance, because of the fact that the barrel is worn out, this firearm has been abused and abused and abused.
Manje sithi ke mhlambe lokho kulethwa futhi ukuthi ke imbobo lombhobho lena igugile ngoba isetshenziswe ngendlela embi isikhathi eside.
My lord, it will affect the quality and the quantity of the
Yes.
marks, but that does not mean there won't be marks. There will be marks.
Yes.
So there were marks on those things, which we were able to compare, and we were able to make an ID on them.
Yebo ngiyavumelana nawe ukuthi uzogcina yenze ukuthi izimpawu zingacaci ngendlela efanele kodwa akusho ukuthi lokho ke manje ngeke kube nezimpawu zizoba khona lapho nanoma nje zizobe zifakeke ngale ndlela ezifakeke ngayo.
Yes, Lieutenant Colonel. It's just a general supposition. I see you're very quick to say, no, but in this case, this is refined, those marks and everything. I'm not referring to this case. You see, this is just a
At one
general
stage you said
supposition.
there won't be any marks.
No, I've said it's going to affect the quality of the mark. I never said there won't be any marks.
At
The
one stage you
quality
said
and the
there
quantity of the mark. But as we have just considered, yes, that will affect the quality of the marks. That's so.
That's
The
correct.
quantity and the quality of the marks. Thank you. But I got a bit concerned when you say no, but in this case, we did find marks, and which is the reason why we're able to compare.
It's because at some stage you said there won't be marks. That's why I said there will be marks.
No, I said when the barrel is worn
You're
out.
arguing now.
That's precisely what Council said.
Yeah, I know. We said that. You're referring specifically to his findings, not any other case. Now you're saying you're referring to any other case. I understood you to say this particular case.
No, my lord, that's
Okay,
not what
fine.
I said. I said from the beginning that I'm going to use a particular example. That is still the trajectory of the example that I used, which is why I said to you, is it so that the non-transferability, the non-consistent transfer of the markings to the test bullet or the scene bullet that affect the quality and the quantity of the mark? I never said it with specific reference to this case. The court misunderstood me.
No, I don't.
But thank
Wait,
you.
wait. You'll see that if you're talking about another case, then I don't know what we're doing here.
But my lord, that is
No,
what I
just
said.
wait.
That I'm going to make
Wait,
a proposition,
wait.
a general proposition,
No, no.
and I'm continuing with that trajectory of a
Okay,
general
fine.
proposition.
Fine.
Thank you, sir. Now that we agree, and the fact that the quality and the quantity of those marking is affected, that will also affect the analysis of those marks, not so?
Kusho ukuthi ubuhle nobuningi balezi impawu ezitholakala lapha kule mbukiso lo kuzogcina kunomthelela ekutheni uzobona ngendlela ebukeka kahle yini lezi impawu.
Or let me put it this way, that will have an effect on the analysis of those exhibits, not so?
Kusho ukuthi izoba
An
nomthelela
effect,
endleleni
yes.
osaziya ngayo le mbukiso.
My lord, it won't be as simple as when you get bullets or cartridge cases or
Yes.
bullets fired in a firearm that has not been used
Yes.
many times.
Akufani uma ukuthi angeke kufane nanoma mhlawumbe usebenzisa isibhamu esingakasetshenziswa kakhulu.
Yes, it won't be as simple. Thank you. Now, back to this case now. Back to this case. In view of all the background that we've tried to sketch here, to sketch out here, would you then agree with me that this was a borderline case? It was not a clear-cut case. It was a borderline case.
Kusho ukuthi nje masisibela kuleli cala esikhuluma ngalo. Ngicela ukuthi sivumelane ukuthi hayi leli cala leli kusho ukuthi ke lokho besenza ngakho bekuyinto esemngceleni kusho ukuthi ke ingacacile ngaleyo ndlela.
My lord, if it was a borderline case, I don't think all my colleagues would see the same thing that I saw on the bullets.
Uma kuwukuthi ingacacile hayi bengeke labo engisebenzisa nabo babone ngale ndlela engayibona ngayo bafikelele kulesi sinqumo nami ngagcina ngifinyelele kusona.
I'm putting it to you, say, that this was indeed a borderline case, which is the reason why you had to go to 4 other people for a confirmation.
Ngifuna ukubeka kwena ukuthi cha mina ngibona sengathi le case lena esemngceleni ngoba wagcina kudingeke ukuthi uthole abantu abane ukuze bazoqinisekisa lo msebenzi wokusebenza.
Thank you. Now, let's go to Exhibit 13E1. I'm going to request, my lord, with due respect, that that be beamed as well, Exhibit 13.1. As it please the court, my lord. I'm sorry about that. It's a bit of a flu. Exhibit 13.1, yes, where test bullet number 3690B5 was used vis-a-vis the exhibit bullet that was picked up at the scene. That is page 1 of 1, page 1 of 1. Thank you. Yeah, that's the one. But please try to permit it in a way that, yes. Thank you, sir. Now, we have agreed that ballistic analysis, it's a science that is based on the art of precision, exactitude, and accuracy and consistency. In other words, ballistic analysis being science is not based on fiction or fictional work or sentimental conclusions that we understand. Now, what's depicted there, it's the test bullet, which is on the left-hand side, and there is also the exhibit bullet. No, the test is on the right. The exhibit bullet is on the left. Thank you. Now, I'm going to request you to go very patiently with me, very patiently, so that we don't misunderstand each other. And if we're going to do that, we're going to assist the court with a greater understanding of what is happening there. You know, we're trying to quell out some instances of assumption and everything. Now we're going to practicalize what you did in the library. I mean, in the laboratory through your microscope. Thank you. Now, as we go through the exhibit, you said you were able to identify 6 markings there, not so. Actually, in your initial testimony, 31 August 2023, you said 6. But under cross-examination of Mr. Ramsipili, you said there were actually 7. Thank you.
That's correct, no?
Thank you. Now, as we will be going through this exercise, I'm going to request you to specifically refer us to what is now being depicted on the screen there, to just try and understand the basis on which you founded your conclusion. Do you understand? Do you understand?
That's correct.
Thank you. Now, let us start with the very first mark that you were able to identify as a match. Maybe before you start, I'm just trying to think of an easier way of trying to do this, because if you're going to say, no, that one, we'll not be able to follow. We don't want those that ones, but we want specifics. So I'm just wondering if I can request an adjournment for the call from the call. I actually wanted to do that in the morning just to skip my mind, just to go and get a laser, like that thing which is got a red or blue color there, so that you say, that is the one that I'm now referring to, so that the court is also able to annotate, in other ways, to take notes accurately, you see. So I'm just checking, my lord, if I would not be afforded the grace to go and get that laser torch.
Yes, how long do you want the adjournment to be?
I think the witness has got a laser.
Point with the laser from the side. From the side, it's not clear on the phone.
Oh, the witness does have a laser.
Mr. Ramsipi,
okay.
What's your time? Mr. Bali?
10:53.
10?
7 minutes to 11.
Okay, I'll come at 10:30.
As it is, 11:30, actually.
Okay?
Yes.
Because you say you want to
Thank you,
formulate a method.